Chapter 3. Muriel Ponsonby was not particularly interested in food. As long as her cats were well fed, she herself was content with very simple fare, and seldom kept much in the house. Now, however, she was not long in providing some good hot soup and some bread and cheese for the young stranger, and not until the girl had finished eating did she press her further. "Now tell me your name." "If you please, madam," said the girl, "my name is Mary Nutt." "But tell me, Mary," said the cat lady, "where are your parents?" Mary's not very old, she thought, 14 perhaps. "Dead," Mary replied. "Both?" "Yes, madam. Mother died a month ago, and my father, he was killed in South Africa, fighting the Boers. He was a soldier, my dad was, a soldier of the Queen." At this last word, Vicky jumped up onto the girl's lap, and Mary stroked her and added, "And the Queen's dead too now." "Yes and no," said the cat lady to herself. To Mary she said, "I'm very sorry for you. My father is, that is to say was, a soldier. And now he's a white cat," she thought. "Thank you, madam," said Mary Nutt. "The fact is that since mother died, I've had nowhere to live. These last weeks I've just been wandering about the countryside, sleeping in haystacks, as you can see, with no food to speak of, for I've no money. That was the first good meal I've had for many a day, and I thank you for your kindness." This telling of her troubles, and the sight of Vicky snuggled down on the girl's lap, would probably have been enough to make up the cat lady's mind anyway. But then something happened which absolutely decided her. In through the drawing-room door marched the white cat Percival, straight up to the girl, and began to rub himself against her legs, purring like mad. Mary Nutt put out a hand to stroke him. "Isn't he handsome?" she said. "You like cats, do you?" asked the Colonel's daughter. "Oh, yes," replied the daughter of a trooper. The cat lady looked at her, stroking with one hand Colonel Sir Percival Ponsonby, and with the other cuddling Victoria, Queen of the United Kingdom, Empress of India, and any doubts vanished. "I hope," she said, "that you will stay here with me, Mary, and help me look after my family." On that snowy day, when Mary Nutt first set foot in Ponsonby Place, the house was as it had been for many years now. That is to say, the floors were dirty, the ceilings cobwebby, the furniture dusty, the chair covers grubby, and the windows smeary. The place was a paradise for cockroaches and woodlice and earwigs and beetles, and even in the damper parts for snails, though mice had the sense to keep well away. On top of everything else, the whole house stank of cat. By springtime, the change in Ponsonby Place was miraculous. The floors and ceilings and furniture were clean, the covers washed, the insects gone. If the Colonel and his lady could have been reincarnated into human rather than feline form, the house would have looked to them just as it had been in their day. To be sure, there was still a smell of cat, but thanks to opening as many clean windows as possible when the weather allowed, it was much less strong now. All this, of course, was due to the busy hands of Mary Nutt, who had turned out to be what the cat lady's mother would have called a treasure. At first from the simple gratitude of being given a home, and then because she quickly grew fond of the cat lady, Mary worked from dawn till dusk in Ponsonby Place, dusting, scrubbing, washing and polishing, and indeed doing most of the cooking. Even more importantly, from the cat lady's point of view, her new helper paid a lot of attention to all the cats, and whenever she had a spare moment, it was spent grooming some happily purring puss. Percival and the rest spoke about her to each other with approval. "Good sort of girl that, don't you think?" he said to Florence. "She's being a great help to Mew, what?" And his wife agreed, as did uncle and aunt, the cousins and school friends. Only Vicky made no comment. The Colonel cleared his throat. "I hope you approve of the young servant, Your Majesty," he said respectfully. Vicky looked up at the big white cat with her usual haughty expression. "We only have one criticism," she replied. "What is that, pray, ma'am?" "We do not have enough attention paid to us. We are, after all, the most important cat in the house, in the land indeed. The girl should feed us first." "Certainly she should, ma'am," said Percival, and once Vicky had left the room, he had a word with all the other cats. From then on, to Mary's puzzlement and Muriel's delight, when the food bowls were put on the long refectory table, no cat touched a mouthful of food until the tubby ginger cat Vicky had finished her meal and jumped down. Just as it should be, thought the cat lady. Her Majesty must eat first. Perhaps one of these days I'll tell Mary about reincarnation. The poor girl has lost both father and mother, or at least she thinks she has. It would surely be a comfort if I could persuade her that each of them is no doubt enjoying another life in another form.